Hi, Caroline. Let's take a look at this newest set of essays, your last essays. I know your exam is coming up in 2 days, so let's get right into it. The process shows the infrastructure of a country before and after the development. The footpath and vehicle track is drawn in the map. All right, Caroline, let's fix this because it's not a process, it's a map, okay? Um, what I would have preferred here if you didn't come up with the word map is at least the word diagram. Okay? Number one. Number two, it's inappropriate to call it a country. We don't know that it's a country. We merely know that it's, well, we assume it's an island because here you've got sea, here you've got sea, here you've got sea. Is there land here? Well, maybe, but it doesn't appear to be the case. So you could have called it an island and you would have been fine. So the diagram or the map shows the infrastructure of an island before and after development without the. This is this whole thing about the footpath and vehicle track, get rid of it. It's not appropriate here. It doesn't belong here. It's a detail. And so it really doesn't belong with your introduction. Okay? It was just in the wrong place. So think about that in terms of your coherence and cohesion score. It doesn't work there. Okay? So before the development, comma, there were only some trees and one vehicle track behind the beach. No, I think you misunderstood that. This isn't referring to the vehicle. Oh, maybe it is actually. I never interpreted it like this. I always took this to mean that this is the beach. So this is the sand here. So it's this kind of like strange area where water and land meets. You're the first person to interpret this as a vehicle track. I mean, I get it, but if you look at it, it's really quite different from the other vehicle tracks here. So I don't really believe that that's what they meant. The lines are longer. They don't look like the lines of the vehicle track here. So I don't think that's what they meant here. Okay, so let's try that again. Before development, there were only some trees, full stop, or okay, you continued it. So before the development, there were only some trees on the island, whereas nowadays, not these days, whereas nowadays, the amount of buildings and footpaths, the amount of buildings, footpaths, and vehicle tracks have increased considerably. Get rid of this comma. This means that the population rose as well. No, we don't know that. Caroline, you are only reporting on the things you see and nothing else. Don't make kind of like leaps in your thinking. You're only reporting on the things you see, so you don't know that the population rose, okay? And since they didn't tell you that, you're not going to mention it. So get rid of that sentence. Firstly, the buildings consist of, careful with your spelling, 14 new accommodations of houses. Okay, they show them as houses, so we can just assume they're houses. You don't even have to say that. So firstly, the buildings consist of 14 new accommodations and 3 commercial properties. The footpath, lowercase f, which starts at the beach, goes around these properties. Secondly, a pier was constructed. Do not include this. You don't know that it's for importing and exporting, so don't refer to it. There's no mention of this here. Okay, this is really important. You cannot mention something that is not included on this task 1. That's why I'm being so firm about this, because you only should report on what you see. The examiner is absolutely going to mark you down for task achievement if you do this on Saturday. So, again, secondly, a pier was constructed. Yeah, all of this needs to go right here. It all needs to go. You can simply say, A pier was constructed in the southern portion of the island to allow boat traffic or something like that, or allow access to boats. That would have been okay. Finally, okay, another thing. You said the country constructed, the state constructed. We don't know who constructed, okay? We don't know if it's the state. We don't know if it's developers. We don't know if it's foreign investments. We don't have that information. And quite frankly, it's not important. And this is why in English we use the passive voice so much. So rather than saying the country constructed, we say a pier was constructed. Also, we don't say the state created a lake near the accommodations. We say, finally, an artificial lake was created near the accommodations. Therefore, no, you don't know this. Again, you're making assumptions, and you cannot do that in task 1. We don't know that they can receive fresh water at home. Okay? You're not doing this. You're not making assumptions, just what you see. Okay? So, if I can, let's see, what did you say? Overall, it can be said after the growth of the infrastructure, the footprint. Okay, that's not an overview. Let me tell you really, really quickly, because it's just 150 words, how I would do this, okay? And hopefully this can give you an idea about how to deal with a map. So, the maps provided show an island before and after infrastructure was created. And then for my overview, I would say overall, prior to construction, there was little vegetation on the island, but afterwards, it became an area that allowed tourism and I don't know. It allowed tourism and guests to stay there. Okay? Something like that. Then I would say, really, really briefly, a few things about the before. Okay? So, prior to construction of the island had some trees scattered throughout in various portions of the island. It measured approximately 200 meters across and 100 meters from north to south at its longest point. Done. That's it. After construction, numerous buildings and infrastructure constructions were seen. What did I say? Let me try that again. After construction, numerous buildings and infrastructure were installed. So, specifically on the western portion of the island next to the beach, some accommodations were built. In the central portion of the island, a restaurant, a mall, and a hotel were constructed. And south of those, a pier was built to allow boat traffic. In the central eastern portion of the island, another group of homes were built, this time constructed in a circular fashion. To the east of that, an artificial lake was built. Connecting all the buildings on the island are a series of footpaths and vehicle tracks. That's it. That's how this should be done. Okay? I hope that helps. Let's take a look now at your task 2 about green energy. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Let's see what you did here. All right, let's avoid in these days and instead replace it with nowadays. One word, nowadays. Nowadays, solar energy, geothermal energy, and other renewable energies, are becoming more popular among the developed and developing countries. Some argue that it reduces costs significantly and is beneficial for the environment, while others believe that these energies, IES, can become a risk to energy security. Note the. I strongly believe that green energies can help us to improve the quality of, no, can help us to improve the quality of nature and reduce cost. I don't really care for this expression. It feels rather unnatural. We don't say the quality of nature. We simply say it improves the environment, okay? Or it improves, it's more sustainable. It improves the natural world. Even you could have said that, but not it improves the quality of the nature, okay? So let's continue. This says it will argue both sides, showing arguments and examples to improve my points. Let's see. What did they ask you to talk about? They said to discuss both views. Fine. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that renewable energies can be a threat for the, no, not for the energy security, but just for energy security. This is because if the source of the new energies is not available, then they, not then, EN, then they cannot produce energy, and this would cause a collapse in the economy. Give me an example. Okay, so for example, if it rained for 300 days and 300 nights, a country relying on solar energy would not be able to satisfy its energy requirements. Okay, take it a step further. Furthermore, fabrics would not be able, what? Fabrics? I think you mean something else. I think you mean factories would not be able to manufacture their goods without electricity. For example, Germany will be dependent on solar power by 2050, and many German industries are dependent on, what does that mean? I don't understand that. So if the sun is not shining properly over a long period, industries will lack electricity and will not be able to earn money. Okay, so I think what you tried to do here is you tried to use two different ideas and then connect them to one example. And there are times when this is really effective and it can help. Here, I didn't really feel like it worked. So, like I said before, I would like here to see you support this with the example I gave you about the sun. And then this, for me, it, let's see. Okay, you know what the problem is? I'm looking at it again. Take a look at what you did. You said, if the new source of energy is not available, then it cannot produce electricity, and this will affect the economy. This does not require a furthermore. You could have said, for example, factories would not be able to manufacture their goods without electricity. To illustrate, Germany will be dependent. This isn't even relevant. But okay, Germany will be dependent on sun power by 2050, and many German industries are currently dependent on electricity. All right, this still doesn't work. I don't understand it. I think I know what you want to say, but you didn't say it. So you could have said this. For example, Germany expects to run on solar panel by 2050, but if the sun does not shine consistently in Germany for a long period, the industries will not have enough power supply to run. Okay, I think this is what you're trying to say. Let's continue. On the other hand, renewable energies have several benefits which enrich, no ES, which enrich the environment and reduce huge costs. The reason behind this is that green energies consist of environmentally LLY friendly substances. Like what? Explain to me what they are. Moreover, instead of fuel, which is needed for all right, conventional power is what we call it. Green power only needs something from nature for production. Do you see how many thes I got rid of? For example, wind power will not produce any kind of energy if the wind is not blowing. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that renewable energies offer many advantages. Okay, now, Caroline, I'm having a little trouble because you're talking about the benefits, right? And you're supposed to be talking here about the environment and the cost. So here you said that it's environmentally friendly substances. So explain what you mean. They consist of environmentally friendly substances. So you could have said, for example, the wind, waves, and the sun are do not create emissions that damage the environment. Okay, that would have been good. And then so that's for the environment. And then here you could have said, moreover, instead of fossil fuels, which are expensive to extract, renewable sources of power are constantly replenished and free to acquire. Okay, making them far more cost effective. All right, these are things that you could have written here. Let's look at your conclusion. To conclude from the arguments and examples given, I strongly believe that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, and therefore think that they are a good alternative for the future. Okay, it's fine. So Caroline, I hope that helps. I hope you understand what works here and what does not. This is your final set of essays with us. I believe that there's still a lot of work that we need to do. I hope that you'll decide to continue working with us. You'll see a link on how to do that in your email. So let's see if we can get you to where you need. I know your exam is coming up this weekend. Let's see how you do on your exam. But so please let us know. But if you need our help, let's continue working together. Okay? Best of luck to you.